It's recording already?
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the second episode. Tonight, we have a very special guest. He's a barber, he's a business owner, and he's a barber supply. And the first sponsor for SMK Barbers, my boy David Diesel.
What's up?
Hustle
What's
Barber
up?
Supply. What's up? What's up? What's up, my boy? Salud.
Salute.
So, this is the second episode. We have seven more. Uh, Based on the statistics, if we make it to the seven episode, we can go farther and farther and farther. Well, thank you guys for the support. We got over 1,000 views on the first episode, so let's keep going and welcome back. Welcome back. So what's up, David? How you been?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, man. Chilling, man. Another day. Happy Tuesday today. Today's Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
So I know you for a very long time. I know your story. I love your story. So how do you became part of this industry? So share your story. I know a lot of parts, and I know people that influence in your career. So let us know about you.
Yeah, man. I mean, barbering. You know, I've been eyeing barbering. Like I've been seeing how barbers do their thing for a while. My first barber, Omar, was it my actual first barber?
Omar Pimentel, no?
Yes, yeah, Barber Pimentel. Omar Pimentel. He was my first barber. He owned his shop in Sun City, and um, I was young, dude. I was probably like 16, 17 years old, and when he started cutting my hair, I started seeing the way he ran his shop. Cool. It was a small shop. Maybe he probably had like four barbers max, but small
Any
shop.
barbers that we know used to work there or work there?
Um, Beto helped him out, and then Beto bought it out, and now it's Beto shop.
Okay, cool.
you
What,
know,
what was that? What was the name? Because they used to have a different name.
uh, when Omar owned it, it was called Getting Faded,
Name fitting?
right?
I
I
don't. I
think
don't
so.
know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Getting Faded Barbershop, I think, and then it was Fades and Blades. Yeah. So then Beto took that over, and yeah. So anyways, when they were doing that, man, I was always like, man, it takes a lot to be a barber. I didn't know anything about cutting hair. I didn't know anything about that. So I was young. I was 16. But at that time, I was a waiter.
Okay.
Uh,
That's
so
when you used to work to what's his name? Hector's mom.
yeah, Canitas.
Canix Express.
Yeah, Canitas
Shout
Express.
out to Hector Hernandez,
What's up, Hector?
Claudia Duran.
So that's actually how I met Omar. He used to go in there. So yeah, man. I would see everybody cutting, and I want to say, I don't know. I want to say Michelle worked there. I'm not too sure who else worked there. I wasn't sure. It was a long, long time ago.
Was that Faith Barber too, no? The blonde lady with a bunch of tattoos.
I don't remember.
You remember her?
No, I don't.
I think she moved to Vegas.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't remember her, but yeah, I remember. It was a cool little barbershop when Omar owned it because he had graffiti all over the walls and cool little paintings all over the place. And I remember he used to have turntables in the back, and I used to be a DJ at that time too.
Oh, nice.
So that's what attracted me to that barbershop. So, anyways, yeah, then Beto bought it, and I actually in high school I used to hang out with Beto's younger brother,
Okay.
Chris.
Chris,
So
yeah.
yeah, so that's how I got cool with Beto. And anyways, I would see everybody cutting, and I would see you there. That's where I saw you for the first time.
Yeah, I started working at Faith and Place back in 2014.
Yeah,
Yeah, I started on Halloween Day 2014.
2014. Yeah. Okay, so I was around 24 right there. 24 years old. So that's when I was working at the warehouse already.
Okay, you were working at Cisco, no?
No, U.S. Foods.
US Food. Okay, yeah.
I was there for almost 10 years. Or 10 years, yeah.
And so you work at Waiters, Candice Express, and then you were kind of DJ, and then you were at US Food.
Yeah,
So you were at US Food from 23 all the way to
from 20,
from
from
20. Oh, then
20 to 29.
okay. So and then after that,
After that, um, I felt stuck. It was a good paying job. U.S. Foods is a great paying job, benefits, 401k, all that stuff, but it wasn't for me. I didn't see myself living there for the rest, working there for the rest of my
why
life.
he was doing the same thing over and over?
Over and over for 10 years,
Oh, man,
and I applied for different positions, and I wouldn't get it.
they didn't give you an upgrade.
Nothing. I mean, they would give me my yearly raise, which was 20 cents, 10 cents, stuff like that, but it was nothing big. So I felt stuck, and I had my son. My son came into my life, and I felt like I needed to do something. I needed to be more of a dad. I needed California's expensive, so I needed to find something to make me more money, and that's when you know I really got into it. And at that time, when I was looking into something else, my barber at that time was Fonz.
Okay. And Alfonso was working on Face and Blade.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
working at Fades and Blades, but at that when I was when I was ready to quit U.S. Foods, I was actually injured. That's what had happened. I got injured outside of work, but I was over it already. I didn't want to go back, and I knew if I was going to go back, I was going to get injured more. So I didn't want to, I didn't want to go back because I knew I wasn't going to be good. I was always going to be in pain. So, Fonz actually opened up his shop.
Alfonso opened his shop back in 2019.
2019. I was 29 years old. Yeah. So he opened it up that summer, and he was my barber at that time. So I followed him, and that's when I asked him, "Hey, man." He was actually showing some girl how to cut hair there, and I was in the chair, and he was telling her, "Hey, you got to do this and this and that." So as he was explaining to her, I was kind of picking it up too. So he was like, "Yeah, man." I told him, I was like, "Hey, bro, you're making me want to be a barber, you know?" But and he told me, he was like, "Well, if you ever want to learn, come and shadow me." I was like, "All right, I'll see what's up." So I went back to work. I remember that day I went back to work, and I had a horrible week at work that day. I mean, that week. It was just a horrible week. And the following week, I don't even think it was a whole week. I think it was just a few days later. I went back, and he was like, "What's up, man? Everything good?" And I was like, "How do I start being a barber?" And he's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah. How do I start being a barber? What do I do?" And he's like, "Well, you got to go to school." And I was like, "Damn."
I mean, being a 29-year-old, and they're like, fuck, I have to
Yeah,
go to school.
29-year-old. I'm a dad, and I have a job that's paying me nearly $30 an hour. So it's like, man, like, what do I do? Like, I gotta go back to school. So I asked him, I'm like, how much does a barber make? And he was like, well, how bad do you want to work? It's all up to you. But this is roughly what I make. And he told me, and I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, it's not easy. And I was like, yeah, well, my job right now is not easy. So I'm ready to switch, So then I found out about a apprenticeship.
Okay.
I thought I had to go to school full time, but apprenticeship is something different. You get paid as you work.
Did it work for you?
Yeah, it was in my situation. It was the best way to go.
Okay. Yeah, because you had a kid,
Yeah,
29-year-old. I mean, pretty sure you have car payments, housing,
yeah.
all the
I
expenses.
ran at everything, bro. So
Yeah, because, I mean, I was in a different situation. I became a barber when I was 22, right after college. Um, I mean, I didn't have a job, you know. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was like okay, I was like, I didn't have a job, but like I knew what I was capable to do. So like I was taquero when I was at full time school. So I mean, it was. I mean, I had no kids, so I was like, okay, okay.
It's a
So
little easier for you.
yeah, it was a little bit easier. And shout out to my parents, you know, like
Man, the,
they pay a lot to my
the
stuff, you know.
parents help out so
Yeah,
much.
they have my shout out to my mom, dad, pop.
Yeah. Shout out to my parents too, man.
Yeah,
They helped me out a lot. But yeah, man. I mean, when that happened, I took like a day or so to think about it, and I was just like, you know what, I have to man up and I have to go to school. So that the school I went to, the Spot Apprentice Academy, great school by the way.
shout out to you
In
guys.
in
Hey, you guys
Fontana.
were a little bit part of my life too.
uh, great school. Um, they showed me, you know, what they worked with me a lot financially, and yeah, because once I left the warehouse, I was kind of struggling.
Yeah,
So they helped me out financially, payments, all this and that, and yeah, the apprenticeship was the way to go because it was once a week to attend school, and then everything else was in the shop. You know, coloring, all that, blah blah, straightening hair, curling hair. You know, you got to do all the procedures as
yeah.
you're an apprentice. I feel like I learned how to cut fast doing the apprenticeship, just because I was around barbers that already knew how to cut. You know, I learned a lot from you guys. You were there.
Yeah,
You started right before I did at that shop. So,
oh yeah, I started working there in a funny part of my life.
but
Yeah.
you know, it's well, there's an orientation week at the spot
Okay.
at the academy. There's an in that week I was still working at the warehouse, and it's
So you were doing the orientation, and you were working
at the
at
warehouse.
the warehouse. Damn.
So the warehouse I started at 5:30 p.m. and I would get out at I think it was 2 o'clock in the morning. So it would be Sunday to Thursday. So Sunday, and I had no vacation. I was on my final for attendance, so I couldn't risk getting fired.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't risk missing a day of work. Um, so Sunday, got out, went home. I slept maybe 2 hours, 3 hours by the time I actually fell asleep. I had to wake up. I forgot what time I had to be at the school, but Fontana from my house is maybe an hour away, an hour 20 minutes, something around there with traffic. You know, it's kind of far, so I had to wake up early. I had to go, and that was 5 days out of that week, and I was just exhausted. I would get out of work, come home, sleep like 2 hours, wake up, go back to Fontana, that work in Corona, and then go to Fontana. And then after Fontana, I would go to work, sleep in the parking lot for a little bit, like an hour, then get to work again. It was bad. It was like a tough week. And I was like, in the middle, I was going to quit. I was going to quit by like Wednesday. And I
You
was
were
like,
gonna quit what? Your job or
school.
school for it?
Yeah. And I was just like, I can't do this.
Because you were too tired.
I
Like,
was so tired, man. And I was just like, man. And something told me not to quit. Just don't quit. You know, and in the back of my mind, it was my child. I did all this because of my kid.
so
Yeah,
basically, you become a barber because of your kids.
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know. I didn't. It's hard to say, but I didn't have the love for barbering. I was looking out for my child. At that time, I didn't have the love for barbering the way you did, the way other people do. You know, they're growing up, barbering, seeing barbers and all this and
Yeah.
that. I was trying to survive.
Okay. So like see like me like the first time I told my parents that I was gonna be a barber, I was like 10 years old. Like
Uh,
I love everything about barbering. I love uh being at the shop, you know.
yeah,
Right now I mean we're in my studio, but I love 100% the barber life. And my definition for barber life is that probably is gonna be a little bit different from other barbers. But do you fall in love during
I
like
felt that
how long did it take you to fall in love like with the barbering life? You know, with like I mean just so for being a for being a barber, you know.
the first day I did my first haircut at the barbershop.
I kind of remember when it was your well, yeah,
It wasn't a
yeah.
full first day. It was my first haircut at the barbershop.
Okay, okay. Because
Uh,
I remember you cutting on a busy day, Thanksgiving week,
yeah,
and I remember getting the phone call for Fonso. Shout out to Alfonso Lopez, the owner of Major Barbers. I have my respect for him. If I'm in the position that I am, is because one of the reasons is because of him. So I remember getting the phone call from Fonso and saying, "Hey," I asked him like, "Hey, what's up? Can we can cut?" And
yeah.
hey, if you guys are that busy, yeah, you know, so go for it. So I remember you were in the last station where I used to be,
Okay,
on
yeah,
the by the Kobe Bryant picture.
yeah,
And yeah, you were. I remember like it was. I mean, I don't know. Probably that was not your first haircut, but it was probably the day that you did the most.
yeah, yeah. I remember that day. Yeah,
Yeah, it was like literally right before Thanksgiving.
that was the day I was nervous. It was Thanksgiving week because I was nervous because I was like, I'm gonna give all these people their Thanksgiving haircut. What if I mess up?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like that's why I was so nervous. But thanks to everyone that was there working, they just said, hey, man, and Fonz told me too, your brain, your mind is going to be the thing stopping you from achieving everything if you're scared. You got to overcome it. And man, I was spending hours, not hours, but I was spending like an hour, I think an hour and a half on a haircut at that time. And I was just trying to perfect it, man. But
Yeah, I mean, as a 29-year-old, you know, like, I mean, you think you know everything and you think you learn every
no,
skill, and
no.
it's hard for you to learn. You know, it's not like young kids right now. I mean, that some barbers they start like 16. It's easy for them to get it.
Yeah,
I mean, you're 29 years old. You know, you're almost in your 30s,
yeah,
and I mean, you're already. It's hard for you to learn.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's hard, and you know the pressure was on me, man. And I was already at a place where I needed to serve. I needed to be a good barber because it's like I said, the first time I ever did a first haircut at that barber shop, that's when I fell in love with it, and I was just like, man, this is amazing.
So, but do you fall in love because of the clipper sounds, because of the clients, because of the barbershop vibe, because I mean it was easy $30, you know.
No, no, the money's amazing. Well, not amazing, obviously, but it could be. But at that time, I was like,
Yeah, money's everything. You know, I mean we're not gonna be like money in the barber industry is pretty good. You know,
you gotta love what you
you gotta
do.
but you gotta love what you do. Yeah,
So I remember the hardest thing for me starting was doing the zero open to the one
okay.
because that's what I do. And I I remember that was the first time I was able to erase that line.
So how long did it take you?
Like during that day,
No, how long? So how long did it take you to pretty much clear the line? You know, so yeah, the thing.
that day.
Yeah.
I don't know. It took me a while, but luckily
More than more,
you
more than an hour, or it was at least an
mm,
hour.
maybe like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
But that was one of my friends. He wasn't
Yeah,
tripping.
yeah,
He
okay.
knew, you know.
Who was Carlos?
Uh,
Oh no,
no, one of
Carlos.
my
Carlos
other buddies.
he didn't call you. He didn't.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
Carlos is
yeah,
picky with his
yeah. He's
hair,
picky. Yeah.
but now he's
That
like,
low,
yeah,
low.
hey, just cut my hair, and I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, cool.
That low
He
fade.
has a super short blend fade, man.
That UK fade. He
Yeah,
likes the UK.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
The
he like
UK
that.
fade,
UK.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was one of my other boys, and yeah, so I cut his hair. And yeah, once I got that line out, that's when I knew. You know what? I'm proud of myself. Like I felt proud of myself
Yeah.
that I did that. I didn't have to. I could have messed his whole hair up because I was still new. But no, I felt proud. So I was like, I want. I got addicted to it. I was like, now I want to cut more hair. Now I want to cut different types of hair and
But
figure
you
that
got
out
addicted because of the art or because of the challenge.
because of the. I feel like it was the challenge.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
So it
yeah.
was the challenge. The art didn't come until later.
So how long did it take you to get that part of the art?
I want to say maybe. So that was in September when I cut his hair.
Okay, September, late September.
Early September because it was before my birthday.
Okay, so yeah,
September.
I wasn't even started because I started September
Yeah,
19th.
you weren't there.
Yeah, I started September 19th.
Okay, yes, yeah, so you weren't there. I want to say it wasn't until the barber battle, which was in January.
So September, October, November, December, January. So it took you 4 months.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hey, he's you won second place, no?
Second place.
Second place, yeah, he's a second place champion at the Barber Battle of 2020. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
It was Kobe Bryant's
day was
death
Kobe
day.
Bryant dead.
Yeah.
I remember that day exactly. I still have the first my first trophy, my second trophy, first place.
Yeah, I got.
Shout out to Josh.
Should have said that last podcast.
Hey, he knows. He knows.
Shout out, Josh. He's a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man, it wasn't until that day I saw community.
Okay.
I saw community. I saw the artwork everyone did. That's what I wanted to do, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to learn how to do designs. I wasn't doing designs yet.
So you fell in love with the industry that day.
That day.
Okay. So how long do you work in a barbershop? Because I mean, we're gonna get to the part that I mean, right now he's a business owner, he's a barber supply owner,
Yeah.
and he's not cutting hair no more. So when was the last day that you actually work in a barbershop?
2022. I want to say maybe was it June? June or July last year, where I officially stopped cutting at a barbershop.
So it's been like almost 6 months.
Yeah.
6 7 months. Okay. So it was from 2019, 2021, 2022. Yeah, so you worked for 2 years in a barbershop.
Yeah, a little over 2 years.
A little over 2 years in a barbershop.
Yeah.
So I mean, from being a customer,
Yeah.
from being a customer, then from being a barber, and from being a barber supply. I mean,
Yeah.
from a lot of people that they don't know, he's the owner of Hustlers Barber Supply.
Yeah.
He's the first sponsor that, thank to God, we got it. We got it legit. So he's the sponsor. We're gonna have some banners, some giveaways for the barbers. So stay
Yeah.
tuned for what's coming. So, how do you see the transition from being a customer, from being a barber, and then now being a barber supply owner? I mean, because you go to all the barbershops pretty much in the area from
Yeah.
what Corona,
From
well, pretty much
Temecula.
Riverside County,
Yeah.
Riverside County,
Yeah.
Riverside County,
Riverside County, yeah.
Yeah.
So from Temecula up to like Moreno Valley, I'm trying to expand more, but yeah, I've been to Corona, Riverside. I've been, some shops, not all shops. There's so many shops. I do San Jacinto, Hemet, Paris. I do all this whole area out here. There's competition. The cool thing is everyone's cool. Everyone's fair game. Most of us.
Shout out to Q.
All respects to Q, man. All respects to Q, but everybody's on their hustle. But yeah, man. When I was a client,
So how do you see us? Because I remember the specific date that I met you,
yeah,
and you have a funny story about that day. That I met you. Oh, when I went back to meet your barber to face him day.
yeah,
That I was, oh yeah, cool, whatever. Like
yeah.
I mean, I was in my
You were a dick.
I was in my stage of being khaki.
Yeah.
I'm a cackiness age, but I mean, you were a customer, so how do you see us before becoming a barber?
So I always thought it was cool. I always thought the art was cool and every. I mean the barbering was cool. I always thought that lifestyle was cool, but I didn't appreciate it.
You didn't appreciate
The art.
the art.
I didn't appreciate it. I didn't appreciate what barbers go through. I'd never thought about it. And I know there's a lot of other clients
But why do you appreciate? Why
like that.
what was the reason that you didn't appreciate like the art or the hustle?
Because I was just like everybody else. Not everybody, but a lot of other people.
85%, 90%
Yeah,
of the clients.
where I was saying it's just a haircut. It's a haircut with cool people in it.
So
It's a
when
barber shop with cool people.
So when you what I how long did it take you to see way more than a barber? I mean, that's one of my codes, like way more than a barber. So when did it like how long did it take you to see way more than a barber?
I saw it when I saw it when Fonz got his barbershop before I started working there.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, I was huge part of the process, so yeah, okay.
But it was before you even stepped in. I saw it when he opened it up, and it's like any business, it's slow.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I remember we used to uh Mari Angel, shout out to Angel, shout out to Mari. I mean, we used to make we used to do one haircut a week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, but it was before that. I think the only ones that were there were Mighty and Angel.
Yeah.
And Lendy, I think, was there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It was for the.
But I was. That's before I even asked Fonz about.
Oh, so you saw that before becoming a barber?
Yeah, I saw that, and that's when I was like, hold on, he needs my help right now, like financially, like, oh, this is more. This is a job, like he doesn't get paid hourly.
Yeah, we don't have benefits yet.
Yeah, we don't have nothing.
We don't have hours secured yet.
And that's when I saw it, and I'm just like, oh, all right. So, you know, yeah, he was struggling in the beginning, and obviously, well, he has his clientele, so. But the shop was a little struggling. And luckily, it didn't struggle for that long.
Yeah, it really took you a while. He opened the shop in July, so it was August, September, October, and then November. You remember that we had this conversation before?
Yeah.
Since that November, like I knew it was gonna be a hit.
Yeah.
It was like
it was in the middle of where there's no barbershop.
It was in the middle of nowhere, no barbershop. But yeah, but I mean, it was. And since that day, we knew it was gonna be a hit.
Yeah.
I remember Thanksgiving Day. I remember because that day I was working with my cowboy hat, my sombrero.
What do you?
Yeah, yeah. I remember that day that I say, yeah, like whatever happens after this day, we're gonna be making so much money.
Yeah. See, and that's when I knew I had to appreciate. I had to appreciate barbers, and that's when I started being more into it because, like I told you, he was cutting my hair and he was teaching the girl, and that's what like got me more into it. Like it was baby steps that got me.
So pretty much you fall in love with the barber industry, and in between you were learning, and in between you were getting good.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you only worked for a barbershop for 2 years.
Yeah.
And sorry to you guys, like I know I'm talking too much, but like I have to ask so much questions.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
His story is amazing because from being a client, from being a barber, and then from being that guy that would pat out the clippers. I mean, 99% of my clippers that I have, I've had enough you.
Thank you.
So you become a barber, and then you were in a busy shop. You were in a busier shop, and then you see all the struggles from new barbers. I mean, you work with Chino. Chino was
Yeah.
he started probably months later. Well, he started in January. In January 2020. That's when
Yeah.
Chino started.
Yeah.
So he started like 3 4 months before you, be after you.
Yeah.
And then you saw some barbers that they had time. Like me, I'm not a sharp knife in the kitchen, but I mean, I've been in this industry long enough to teach new barbers, to teach new techniques, or just share my story how much I love barbering. So, so you were with Shino,
Yeah.
you were working with Fonso, you were working with myself, you were working with Mari, one of the
Yeah.
greatest female barbers I ever met. Shout out to Mari. Mari, you're one of the greatest ladies barbers I ever met. So,
Oh
and
yeah.
then you were working with a couple people.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to mention. And then you were working with Angel, no? You were working with
Yeah.
Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were
Angel.
working with Angel by that time. So, and you were working with Fonso. So you were able to learn from different techniques. You were
Different
able to,
techniques.
yeah, you were
Everybody. That's one thing I learned going in. I shadowed Fonz a lot, and I stuck with the way Fonz
cut hair, yeah.
cut hair
Yeah, he has
because
a very particular
yeah,
way to cut hair.
yeah, and I stuck with it because it was kind of confusing me going to everybody else. But once I understood how to cut hair, how to get the technique down, his technique, then I started seeing the way everybody cut hair. So I would pick up techniques from everybody else. Oh, why do you do that? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Blah blah. So yeah, everybody cuts hair differently, and that's the way I learned. I followed Fawn's technique, but little by little I grabbed onto everybody else's technique, little by little.
Okay, cool. So, how long did it take you to learn? Like I mean, not to master, because I mean, I believe that you
Oh
never
yeah,
you never learn how to master. I mean,
nope, nope.
to all the barbers that say I'm a master barber, hey, no, you're never gonna be a master barber because
You're always
you're
gonna
always
learn.
gonna learn.
Yeah,
So whoever calls themselves a master barber, nah, you're not. You're not a barber master. And if you wanna discuss, hey, welcome hey, you can sit down on my chair. So yeah, you're never gonna be a master barber. So how long did it take you to learn, like
to
to
be
see?
comfortable.
Yeah, to be comfortable. Yeah,
Comfortable. It took me about a full year to be comfortable with my haircuts.
like a full year, a full year.
A
Okay,
full year, but I thought I was good
until
until I started seeing people that were cutting under me, like not under me, but people that started cutting before me, after me. That's actually yeah. So people that started cutting after I did with badass haircuts, and I'm like, hold on, what am I? Why don't my haircuts look like that? Did I get too cocky? What's going on? I have to check myself.
okay. So wait, I know after like the 6 months you become a second place trophy on the international barber
Yeah,
battle. Did that give you more confidence after you won that trophy? Did that say, oh yeah, fuck yeah,
that
I'm a second place champion, no?
yeah, that gave me a lot more
I
confidence.
give you that
It
confidence.
didn't make me cocky because I knew I still had a lot to learn.
So
But it,
you say that you figured out, okay, it's barbers that they had less time than me, that they're kind of better than me.
yeah,
So do you keep doing the same thing that you were doing, or like you change your way to do things, or you ask the new barbers, like, hey, what's up? What's your technique? Or
um, I don't think I ever asked the new barbers. I
why?
just studied them. I didn't ask them. I don't know.
I mean, I know some of the young barber that you work with. I mean, it was
Yeah,
Chris and it was Shino. I mean, that's that
but
two.
Chris was cutting before me.
Oh yeah, but I mean, but okay, yeah. So you were the only one. Okay,
Chino was cutting
Shino.
before me too, though. But he started at yeah. Chino was cutting before me.
Boy, yeah, but he started his garage. Boy, oh, you know what? You never grabbed clippers until you were 29. So yeah, that's cool. That's
You know who it was?
cool.
It was Mike.
Okay, well, but Mike is different.
It's a different barbershop.
Right? No, but see, Mike is a different type of animal. I mean, I'm not disrespecting My God, don't respect the animals. No, no. But see, Mike, um, I mean, I don't want people to say, "Oh, you're fucking sucking his balls so much." But Mike, he's one of a kind, though. I mean, I know because he's my best friend or whatever, but like Mike is one of my kind.
Yeah.
But Mike has some. He's different though because he knows how to treat people. Though. That's why.
Yeah, but his haircuts
At that time.
at that time, I stopped cutting hair, so my haircuts probably suck now, you know. But at that time, I was like, man, that he was posting it up, and I was like, dude, that's a clean haircut, you know.
Oh,
And I was
okay,
like,
okay, okay.
holy crap, what do I have to do? So I stood there. I would look at his pictures, and I'd be like, man, what did he do different? What's going on? And it wasn't until I got my haircut from
Oh, so you got a haircut?
him. I got a haircut from
Oh,
him,
okay, cool, cool,
and he was like, one thing that he told me, and I'll never forget it. He's like, you don't. He's all, I'm like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, I'm using the edge of the clipper to take
cool.
out
The
this
corner,
line.
yeah, the corner.
Yeah, the corner. And I was like, so I went home and I YouTube that technique. And that technique helped me out so much.
So okay, I know we back.
Shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike the barber, love you, homie. So I know we been going back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so you stopped cutting hair July 2022.
Yeah,
So it's been like 6 months, 6 7 months. You started cutting hair because you opened a barber supply,
yeah,
right? You opened a Hazelwood barber supply, and pretty much you know what barbers need,
yeah,
right? And you know barbers in the area. We're not gonna talk about the barber shops in the area, but you know what barbers want and how the industry is going for.
yeah.
So how much? Just for the people, other customers. This is for other customers, not barbers because you guys know already. So how much does it cost? How much is the cheapest clippers that you have right now? Just I mean you can throw a price. It doesn't have to be the exact price.
The cheapest,
Yeah.
$80.
Okay, $80 is one clipper. One just one clipper. We're not gonna mention brands or anything until we get a sponsor. And then what's the most expensive clipper that you have?
Actual clipper.
Yeah, actually clipper, the
Yeah,
clipper
with the lever and everything.
with the lever and everything. Yeah. I
Mm,
mean, we're not gonna talk about the oysters, all this stuff because you have to
yeah,
pay about it.
actual clippers would have to be. I think they go for this. They came out with a special edition, so I want to say it's around 340,
Okay, so the
320.
cheapest that you have is 80,
Yeah,
and the most expensive that you have is 340.
yeah,
Okay, so for the customers that they say, "Oh, barber charge too much" or whatever. I mean, some of us we invest in our equipment that we have over $1,000 in equipment, and things are not cheap. Coolker it went. I remember Coolker went from $5 to I don't know how much
yeah.
it is right
It ranged from 10 to 12,
now. Okay, so from 10 to 12. So I
and
mean,
that's a
so
weekly thing.
so everything is expensive. That's what some barbershops they're going high on the prices. That's why barbershops
Yeah,
are going. I mean, Boudrin in some barbershops they're going high. They went from 150 to 200 to 200 to 50 to 300. Right now, I believe it's 350. I mean, I haven't paid Boudrin in 50 months because of my studio.
you know what? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know one thing though. I'm gonna say this to customers out there that not my customers but barbers customers that don't understand the industry. Before I started my barber supply, I wanted to open up a barber shop.
Okay.
It is expensive, way more expensive than it was 2 years ago.
Right now, I mean,
Yes.
I mean, we have a little story. Me and David, we were gonna be a business partners. For any reason, and kind of thank God that didn't work out. So we were supposed to be open a barbershop together. I mean, back then we used to need only like 25,000 to 30,000,
Yeah.
almost. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
in between. So how long does it take to open a barbershop right now?
Uh,
How long do you think this thing? Oh, I mean, from what you know.
Look, in our area, which is a lot of areas, California is just crazy. Let me just put it this way, and this is just the rent. all these new places that are being built, they want 5 to 6 thousand for 1,000 square feet per month. If you have A1 credit, they'll give you like first and last, and that's all you have to pay. But if you have like a 700 or lower, they're gonna make you pay 3 months of rent up front. How much is that? Say 5,000, 15,000 just in the rent.
I don't know. I'm a barber, so I'm sucking. I'm sucking my.
That's 15,000.
Okay,
Let's say
yeah.
it's 5,000 a month. It's 15,000 just in rent, just to open up your shop.
Damn.
Okay, that's not including the stations. That's not including electricity. That's not including fixing up the place. That's not.
So I mean, so pretty much you need like over 40,000 bucks to open
Oh
a
yeah,
shop.
40, 50,
40, 40.
60,000.
Okay, so I say you've been a customer, you've been a barber, and now you're barber supply.
Yeah.
So how do you see this industry, or how do you? Well, first question: how do you see people see this industry? No barber customers. How do you like? What do you think customers think about us as a barbers
At this time,
at this time? And January, February 1st,
um,
2023.
I feel okay. I feel like more people, but not everybody. I feel more people kind of understand this a little bit more.
I would say 65%, 70.
Less,
That is
less,
45% people understand.
maybe 40, 45%.
45% understand our work.
Our work,
Our passion.
our work. You know the how hard it is, and financially, all that stuff
So you think you barbers, they're barbers for the passion or for the money?
for the passion.
Like what the percentage of passion?
Everyone's trying to create their own craft. Everyone's trying to brand themselves.
I mean, but then what do you think was the percentage? Like, okay, I mean, you know a lot of barbers, so what do you like? What the percentage of you think? Oh, these barbers they really work for the passion, and other barbers they work for money. I mean, I know some barbers they just work because they
Oh
just
yeah,
want money.
I gotta give it maybe a 60-40. 60 work for the passion.
Oh, damn, that's a high number for. That's a lower number for passion. I would say 85,
Um,
85%, 15.
there's a
No,
lot of barbers that are lazy,
I mean, yeah, oh yeah.
and that's not for the passion.
Okay, so you think now, like young barbers. I would say this from 19, and I'm almost 32.
Yeah,
So I'm considering myself in the
you're old. You're old.
in the middle. I'm in the middle.
You're
So you
old.
think young barbers from 19 to 25, 18 to 25,
Uh-huh.
you think they see that this passion or this career different than the other people?
Mm, what do you mean other people though? Like
I mean,
us?
like us. I mean, it's because I mean I get a bunch of teenagers over here in my studio,
Uh-huh.
and they say, "Oh, I want to be a barber." And the first question I ask is like, "Why do you want to be a barber?"
What do
And
they
they
say?
say because I mean you have a nice car, or you always have money, you always get cash.
Yeah.
I was no, don't do it for that. No, because when we're working,
Yeah.
people is party, and
Yeah.
I always mention Thanksgiving Day,
Yeah.
Christmas Day, whatever, right? So right now it became popular. I mean, I would say the last 7 years it became
It
popular.
blew up.
It blew up to be a barber,
Barbering blew up. Yeah.
So I mean, it's a barbershop in every corner. I mean, especially in Chula Vista. So this is a fucking barbershop in every
Yeah.
corner. So, but it's a bunch of young barbers.
Okay.
So it's a bunch of young barbers, like teenagers,
Okay.
like 18, 19, 20 years old barber. So, but you think they do that? They work in the industry like little different than like people like has been in the industry over 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, I've been in the industry for almost a year.
Yeah.
So you think that I work different than people?
You have a different state of mind. I feel like you're mature. You're more mature than them.
Yeah, but fuck, I'm almost there.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys, they're going in and they want to be barbers and they're doing it. I'm not the one to say if they're in love with it or not, you know. But I think the people that will stick with it are the ones that are in love with it.
So by you, so you believe that pretty much a lot of barbers they start barbering is because they love the craft, pretty much.
Yeah, they love the lifestyle.
So
They love the craft.
when was the your first? What's the definition for you for barber life?
Barber life.
What's the definition for you? Like you can say, okay, this is the barber. This is what barbershop life means to you.
Yeah. Now, now that I'm a barber and well, barber supply and everything. Taking care of your clients, man. You barber life is about worrying about yourself, worrying about your own business, yourself as a business, your craft, and and are you really happy with making your clients happy?
Okay, so what's the best thing to ever happen to you as a living the barber life? I mean, I'm saying in the barber life because I had different definition of a barber life.
What's your definition?
I mean, I don't want to say it until somebody interview me. So no, I had different, no, I had different definition of barber life.
Yeah.
So what's the best thing to ever happen to you as a barber, like living the barber life?
Living the barber life
Yeah, I mean, you living the barber life.
was the best thing that ever happened to me. Oh, okay, so the best thing that I realized in the barber industry was that there's so many doors that nobody knows about. It's not just cutting hair. It's not just a barber. It's not. It's not just us behind the chair. There's a whole industry back there. There's learning how to dye hair. There's learning how to shave. There's learning how to
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff behind.
yeah
I mean, that people they don't know what that we actually capable to do.
yeah
You know, I mean, we don't do just shapes and lineups and
yeah.
tapers and a face, high fade, low fade, or whatever. No.
Is the barber life is it's just so huge. I didn't know about this. I didn't know there was sweets.
Who got you into sweets?
You. I didn't know
yeah,
there was a suite. When people told me Mario was at a suite, what are you talking about?
you know what? I knew about sweets a little bit before Barbe Vega, but that like the reason that I have the sweet is because Barbe Vega. Shout out to Barbe Vega. You're always gonna be inspiration to me, and I got my respect for you, bro.
Congrats on your shop.
Congrats on your shop, yeah. Hey, he's in Paris. Shout out, hey, all my people in Paris. Go visit Barbe Vega. BL, whatever. I don't know. I don't know.
Boulevard.
Boulevard Barbershop. Please go check him out. So, okay, so see, like the definition for me for barber life is it's a little bit different though. Like I don't see
Are you talking about like the lifestyle?
the
What we do
yeah, see
outside?
that's the barbershop life.
What we
See
do
that's the
outside of the
yeah,
shop?
that's the barbershop life because so like and I asked the same question for you.
I don't think we're allowed to talk about
I went,
that. Honestly, we shouldn't talk about that.
no, because because see because the barbershop life is I live the barbershop life 24/7 though. Like
Yeah,
see like me I'm Super Mario cuts
in and out of the shop.
No when I'm cutting hair. When I'm cutting hair, I'm Super Mario Cuts.
Yeah,
When I'm not cutting hair, my name is Mario Germán Bojorquez. You know? but see, um, and I was to customers, hey, if you see me outside, all time Temecula,
yeah.
I'm having fun. My name is Mario. I'm not a Super Mario. Even that I have my tattoo on my chest. But no, because like I respect my suite, you know, it took me a few months to get it right. But I believe the barbershop life is we barbers 24/7. You know,
Yeah,
some of us, we had the barber pool tattooed on
yeah,
on our arm or chest or whatever.
yeah.
You know, we have some barber tattoos
Tattoos, yeah.
related. Most of us, no, I'm not saying every single
I
barber.
don't have one. I didn't never got one.
So some of us, and all we always wearing a hat. I mean, related to the barber industry, most of the
Yeah.
time, and we always wear black. Yeah, yeah. So we no, no, no. But see, that's the thing that I believe that a lot of people they don't know. Like Barber June posted
Yeah.
today. Shout out to Barber June. He said like when we go to a party, everybody thinks that we have our clippers. Everybody think
Oh my gosh.
everybody
Yes.
believes that we always gonna share about customers or
That's
whatever.
so
But I don't
tough.
see. But like for me, the barber life is we always gonna carry cash.
Yep.
That's the barbershop life.
Yep.
We're always gonna carry cash. We're gonna pay 90% of the stuff in cash. You know, uh, most of the barbers they have tattoos. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, one of the reasons that I told my parents that I was gonna be a barber is because I want to have tattoos. So,
I mean, you look at the textbook
yeah, I
for
look at it.
barbering,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
graffiti.
No, no. For so the textbook, Melody or
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
Lady, whatever it's called. In the front, there's a guy, and he's all
Well,
tatted
tattoos.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's a
I mean,
barber life.
I know, no, every barber has tattoos, no. But what I'm saying is like we live a unique life. We live actually in a life that is hard to people to understand because, like I've been saying this for years. When everybody's